Good morning, YouTube. It's Trader Rob. Today is Thursday, February 12th. Let's get into the charts. So the shaded area you're seeing here on the NQ was the pretty much the news, unbalanced volume from news here. I'd already had kind of given my game plan here with my signal members already in our pre-session prep. It looked like the move from the news was even not really that strong. You could see how it needed to balance out volume before making a push. Really wasn't able to break any major structure before consolidation, then a secondary push. So it didn't put too much weight into that, which I normally don't in my news events. As far as unbalanced volume is concerned, sometimes the move's super strong and you can see it pretty clearly in the candlestick. As far as some reactionary bands that I'm looking at today, I've got two bands here sandwiched kind of together from the 84 down to like the 41s. So we'll look for, my initial read will be a reversal off of here, off of this band. You know, if we get something that comes down to here, I would want to see a continuation or reversal still through this band. I'm not going to be taking a reversal off of this band because we've got possibly resistance right above us there. And same thing for continuation to the downside. I'm not looking for a continuation footprint through this band. I would want to see it through this band to take something, continuation to the short. So that's how I kind of play out my my bands when they're so close to kind of together to each other. And then yesterday we had a reactionary band that we really did not tap into at the 53s to 41s. Those will always be colored in like this aqua green color. And then same scenario, we've got another band, a new band here at the 69s to the 460s. As far as the ES, I did have a signal that I gave to my signal members yesterday afternoon or evening, and did invalidate this setup here this morning. Woke up just pretty much seeing price action hanging around TP1 and TP2, balancing the shit out of all volume there. So my worry here was a possible sweep of this area right here. We did get the sweep. Obviously, this was about 10 minutes after news hit. Came to about halfway through drawdown, but obviously ended up working. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But, you know, just kind of sticking to my rules here. Yes, we got two bands that we're looking at, the 71s down to like the 70s, 64 down to the 61s. And then we've got a band above us at the 70-13 to the 10. So that's the ES for today. Gold, I had mapped out this reactionary band in gold. I think we missed it by maybe a few ticks here, but you could see really strong rejection off of that band there. So let's just kind of stay here on the NQ for a little bit, and we'll see how price action develops here this morning. AP, good morning. Spencer, good morning. Anna, good morning. Eugene, Nordic, Karen, Rob, Michael, William, Keith, Richard, Nilsson, Steve, Joel, Joe, and John. Good morning to all, and let's have a day. Chum Sauce, good morning. Just for your, yeah, I don't even think that it really matters to you guys, but just so that you guys can kind of understand my P&L. So now my P&L has kind of moved up where my 1R is going to be in that probably $14 to $1,500 range. So I did increase my position size by about 33%, which is pretty easy to do on the micros. So just pretty much increased one micro throughout all funded accounts. I did add, obviously, two more Lucid 50K funded accounts that I passed yesterday. And so I have those staggered. So one's trading today, tomorrow another one will trade, and then on the third day, since I only have 2 of them, they will be going in with both accounts on that day, which is actually the same day that I've got both of my cash accounts trading on the same day as well. So that was kind of my methodology behind all of that jazz. Again, not sure you guys care, but just so you guys can understand that, you know, if I'm up 1,500, or it's kind of an R now for me instead of it almost being closer to 2R. Let me get my journal here ready. I need 625 to pass my first top step 50K. Sweet, man. Jump Sauce, if you don't mind me asking, what platform do you trade off of? Are you on Trade of 8, Ninja? Obviously, I know you're probably on Top Step X for the Top Step account, but what else do you trade? I also use Ninja. Okay. So yeah, I think that's going to be the one area that for my cash account. Okay. So we're similar. I obviously trade my through Ninja through my live and then all my props. But you kind of let me know how it goes once you get funded here today, because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen here today. But if you let me know your feedback on if you find it challenging to trade the Top Step X with Ninja. Oh, that's the worst place to be at, Nordic. Nordic needs $12 to get funded for Apex. Oh, I hate that scenario. I hate that situation. And I'm just living some battle wounds. I was exactly $8 away from funding my Take Profit Pro. I think I gave you guys a story, but I had a phenomenal day. Just a great day of trading, and I needed $8. And I ended up, it was after stream, I was by myself, and I had thought that I had gotten it, but I guess with commissions, or maybe my calculations wasn't right on the trade, I was about $8 short. I ended up taking an ES short. I still remember it to this day, and this was maybe 4 or 5 months ago, no, about maybe 4 months ago. And, you know, just looking for like 2 ticks, literally just 2 ticks. While I marketed into a short that already put me like 2 ticks in the red, and it started to reverse on me. I then added another contract, so I DCA'd into that. It ended up going against me maybe 10 points before I closed out, and I was now down. I needed now like $508. Did end up passing that one, but that was, and it was funny because it was an evaluation account, so it's not funny. It was actually for me, it was kind of a small turning point into funded accounts. I've mainly been a cash trader. I don't want to say mainly. I've been pretty much solely a cash trader for a very long time, minus, you know, some funded accounts through Top Step. But that was a good eye-opening, because this is what happened after that disaster, which is what it was a disaster. That for the next 3 or 4 days, my trading was pure garbage. I remember I was in our place in Florida. Probably go back and look at some of the live streams. I got way over aggressive. I was taking trades that were not in my wheelhouse at all, and the funny thing is that I kind of went back to that trade. That trade to pass that take profit, I really felt like was the culprit of a lot of really bad habits that occurred for the following week. And then if you guys remember around Thanksgiving, I think it was maybe the day before Thanksgiving, had a stream. I think I was probably up a few $100, maybe down a few $100. And, towards the end of the stream, I told my everybody that was on YouTube, I'm like, you know what, I think I had maybe 20 evals that I was trying to pass. And then I kind of grouped them into 2 groups of 10. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to try to pass these on stream. And I just my trading was stupid. It wasn't off of any of my rules. It wasn't an IB strategy. It wasn't an unbalanced volume. It was just pure discretion. Blew all 20 of the accounts. My P&L on screen looked like I was down 200 grand, obviously, because, it's 10 contracts. And that, even though it was partly for fun, but at the same time, there was money I invested into those accounts. There was probably, I don't know, at least $200 at $200 or $250, depending on how much I bought them for. So 1, it was a waste of capital, and then 2, it was, bad, just stupid trades, bad trading. And did I think about the positives of that day or that week? No. All I kept thinking about was how crummy I felt by not really even following my rules. So even with that, I decided that, okay, even if I want to be aggressive with my evals, which I am, especially my Apex evals, they're pretty cheap. I obviously don't have any evals right now besides my leaders, which are the 300Ks. But my 20 PAs, getting back to the evals, the way that I told myself, I'm like, all right, I'm going to get aggressive on the evals because, staying in the evaluation zone doesn't make you money. You got to get into the funded zone to get, to obviously try to recoup the costs of the evals and to profit from them. And I pretty much told myself, I'm like, all right, even if I want to get aggressive with them, the setup has to be correct. And it would be a setup that I would take with my cash and with my funded. And I switched that mentality, still stayed aggressive, still trying to do them in pretty much one trade, which I've done now, I think 3 sets of 10. So the 20 that I have currently, I've had them now for probably about a month and a half to 2 months. I want to say maybe middle of December. I can't remember exactly. I can go back and look. And so that was kind of my methodology there. And I like it because it gives you some discipline. It doesn't break, because when you break rules, even if you think that, it's just an eval, those rules, those broken rules will start to creep up into other areas of your trading. And I promise we will get into, probably could have used that time for I will explain my footprint entry method on my reversals and my continuations. All right, so market kind of left a pocket right here. gonna look. It's kind of ugly, but let's take a look and see how price action here develops off of the first reactionary band. Now, not looking for a reversal here just yet. I would want to see some confirmation out of this band here. Nothing to do here yet. Now we'll see if we can tap kind of back in here and see if we get some support down here at this band. Okay, some negative delta here. So if we could flip this green, I'd be interested in a long. Right now I'm on the 120 footprint. All right, so it's did not flip. So we got positive delta here. Nothing to do here yet. And even if this was to flip here as a continuation short, I would not be interested yet because I want to see it come out of this band. Okay, strong delta, strong negative delta here. ES is tapping into its first band there. Not just yet, but close. Bigger picture on the NQ, just still take a look at it. Again, here the only thing I would be looking for would be either a continuation to the downside, or if I get a continuation to the upside, I would want to see it coming out of this band right here. And we do have some news in about 11 minutes. You got U.S. Existing home sales. ES still hasn't tapped into the band, so that's something else to think about. Strong delta there. See that push. Nothing here to do yet. ES just tapped into its band. Some strong delta there. Could be an interesting long here. And Q's still kind of dumping though. And Q's not really showing me much here. I might have missed that move there. Probably would have given us our 4 points right there. Well, the ES gave us a great footprint right there. But again, pretty extreme negative delta. All right, let's see the NQ. Let's see if we can maybe catch continuation play off of this. Good job, Spencer. Yeah, 5 points. Would have been a quick one, too. All right, back on the NQ. I'm a little more inclined on the shorts just because you could see here how we did tap right back into it. We did not get any type of confirmation for, you know, a bigger move to the upside here. Not that it can't happen here, but kind of my my look here, obviously with price action on the bigger picture, we're still pretty negative here. Got 6 minutes here to news. Good job, Nordic. Not much to do right here. Kind of rather see a little bit of an expansion out of these bands right now. Or just kind of wait for the market to just to kind of expand a little bit. Maybe come back and sweep one of these higher lows of the bands. A lot of negative delta now, both on the ES and the NQ. Okay, so we kind of freed up from this, from these two bands on the NQ here. I would rather prefer us to expand a little bit, maybe retap into this lower part of this band, and then take a continuation to the downside. We'll see if it gives us that. Again, can't really take a reversal here on the ES because I just don't have that much space here. I guess depending on if we can get deep into this. Oof, wow. That was a strong reversal footprint right there. Again, just don't have too much room here, so not much I could do. Now, if it dips down into the middle to lower part of this band, and then I get a reversal up here, then yes, I can target this band right above here. But the setup's got to be right. It's got to make sense. And Q's pretty much pushing right through. Pretty strong delta here. It's kind of diminishing just a little bit here on this continuation here, so we'll see. Kind of keep an eye on that. All right, so the ES looks like it's dipping back in here. Strong delta here. 400, negative 495. Just stay patient. Let's wait for a setup that we can we got the best probability on. Now, granted, if this was to close red here with positive delta, I would absolutely be looking for a short. Not sure we'll get that, but okay. This is just kind of helping us avoid kind of getting lost in this chop right now. on the NQ, do got a little area here, some unbalanced volume we just tapped into. Interested. All right, let's see here. Possible short here brewing. Make sure you keep an eye on that delta. Let's see if we get a short here on the NQ. So the number you see at the bottom right, that's a range counter. So that's got to get to 120 for this to close out, just so you guys can understand that. So we're at negative delta right now. Nothing to do here yet. Nothing to do here yet. That's that guy right there. Let's see how that would have played out. Nope. All right, there's the tap. Let's see here. Yes, this got confirmation to go short. Cut off the first band. Let's see if we can flip this one here. That would be interested here in a short. Got a great target down here at the 78s. Keep an eye on that delta. Delta's still negative. I want you to take a look at the ES here. Look at that. 1,026 contracts right there. Really wish I didn't have this freaking band right in front of my face. I would have loved to taken a short right there. All right, let's see if this ES can close as a red footprint here. Tricky little spot here. Tricky little spot. So continuation to the upside. Positive delta, positive delta. Okay. Again, pretty ugly price action in between these two bands right now. Really got to find something clean. Interesting. Let's go, chump sauce, man. I'm rooting for you. You're going to get it today, I promise. I don't know why, but I got a feeling in my gut for you. Positive, a lot of positive delta coming in. Let's see if the sellers can keep them at bay here. All right, negative delta. Let's see. Nothing to do. Stay patient. Was first real sweep right there. Negative delta. I'm going to take a short here on the ES. Let's take a look here. Let's just see if we can get a better price possibly here. A lot of positive delta. Let's see if we could flip that. That was the first real sweep. All right, I'm going to take a quick stab short here. First sweep of the high with negative footprint with positive delta. My stop, I think, is okay right there. Wow, let's get some continuation here to the downside. I think at best 2 points in the money there. Maybe 3. $3.75, tick away from TP. Nice trade. All right, first one's in the books. So remember what the game plan was. First sweep outside of the band, which we finally got. First sweep out of the band. Red footprint, positive delta. Short, very little drawdown. Nice trade. Thanks, AP. All right, give me 2 minutes and then we will get into my instruction on the footprint candles. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I just got a blank, kind of a blank canvas here. Let's first put up a reactionary band. Let's extend this. Style, extend left, right. Background, purple. If anybody sees anything interesting, please let me know. I think he was kind of in between those two bands. Not much. Ooh. Hold on one second. Must be a possible short here. 30 negative. I kind of like a short here. Let's see. I like this short play here on the NQ. All right, I'm in. Stop right above the candle right there. That looks good. Break of a low right here. I like it. See if we get some follow through here. Come on, NQ, don't fall asleep on me here. Let's go. About 10 points in the money, maybe 13. Come on, give me a push here. Don't really like that candle too much. Not seeing a lot of positive delta here yet, so nothing to be concerned about here yet. Just kind of makes sense here to sweep this low right here. About 16 points there of in the money. Come on, NQ, don't fall asleep here. Definitely don't wake up to the definitely don't wake up the buyers here. Come on, bears. Make a push here. Not a huge fan of the seesawing. I like my trades to come to resolution pretty quick. Nothing super strong on the delta there. Let's see. Just don't want to see a sweep here and then make my move. Let's go. Don't make the sweep here. Kind of caught the market here sleeping here. Looks like the bears finally come on, wake up here a little bit. All right, so now some positive delta coming in. So that's not a good sign for me. Not a good sign at all. Most likely a sweep here now. Seems like our entry is our support resistant line. Come on. Give me one push here. Take it down, bears. Take it. Take it, bears. Come on. One little small push here. We're went into some resistance right here. Let's go. Breakthrough. Nice. Okay, let's go. Let's go. They just broke through some resistance. Let's go to target. Nice. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Chump sauce passed it. Let's go. I told you, buddy. I told you. I'm not gonna lie, got a little hairy there though. Definitely got a little hairy. $53,010. Nice job. Nice job. Oh, nice P&L, 2,500. Nicely done. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't even include my funded accounts on Lucid on there. They're new into my list. So now what is it? 3,082. Both Lucids today hit for 284. One for 284, one for 281. Tradeify plus 277. All the apexes are at 280. And both of my cash accounts were at 272 and 277. What a day. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. I promise I'm going to get into it. Let me just do my journal. Let me open up the IB indicator here. Let me just journal these two trades so I don't lose track of my of myself here. So we can do this. All right, so we got the 60 on the right side and the 30 on... Oh, wait, that's not right. Yeah, what's the IB at again? 169.75. 160. Jesus Christ, I already forgot the number. 169.75. 169.75. Okay. There it is. Beauty. Go here. All right. So let me pull. Let me just journal this really fast. 2/12. 2026. Let's start off with the ES. Took a short. That was at 9:20. It's a good time to journal with me, guys. Get in the habit of it. I put the time range, so I do 30-minute slots. I got pre-session. I got 8 to 8:30, 8:30 to 9, 9 to 9:30, all the way until the market closed at 3. And then I've got post-session. That was a short. That was a win. And that was off of our, that was with our 12 range footprint. Off of a reactionary band. Stop loss was 4.25. Take profit was 4. Newsday, yes. During news, no. Do not believe so, no. Points 1 was 4. No mistakes. And then let's do the NQ. NQ was at what time? It's at about 9:25, so that goes same time slot. NQ short 1. That was 120 range footprint. Stop loss was 30. Take profit was 30. News day, yes. During news, no. Points 1, 30. No mistakes. Beautiful. All right. Give me 1 sec. We're going to get into it right now. All right. And then let's put a level here. Let's make this solid. Nope. This way. All right, guys. So this is going to be our, like, let me bring this down just a little bit. Just a little bit. This will be like, let's just say a reactionary band. And then this can also be a level. So, you know how you see my entry levels. This could be a level on the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1 minute, the 30-second. If you're on the NQ, could be gold. So this is based off of you already predetermining an area that you're going to see a reaction. Okay, so that's where you want to put these, either the band or the level, depending on how you're, what type of strategy you're looking for. Now, there's 2 types of plays that I'm looking for. It's either going to be a straight reversal off of the reactionary band, very simple, or I'm going to be looking for a continuation. So we're coming from the downside. We kind of come through here, we pop back here, and we go through here. So this now allows you to trade in both directions. I have always been a reversal type of trader, but on the areas that break or that you trap, what we would be thinking here is we'd be trapping sellers here, right here. I want to also be able to take advantage of that move as well. Okay, so let's show you a few examples. So we've got price action coming up into our area of interest. And it finally taps in. Remember, our first initial thesis is going to be a short. We're looking for shorts. Oh, we just went through the IB. We slammed through the IB, it looks like. Okay. And then let me put some text here. So plus, let's say 132 delta. Let's say we got it increasing here now, plus 250, not 2,000. That would be pretty insane. I don't think I've actually ever seen a number that high. And then let's say plus 350. Okay. Now the basic strategy would be is if we're coming from the downside and we're going into a reactionary band or a level, we're obviously first thought, get away footprint. First thought is going to be looking for a reversal back down to the downside. So what I would be waiting for would be this type of candle, which would be a red footprint candle, but I would need to see positive delta. So plus 234. So right there, that would be my trigger to continue with my not to continue, but to play my reversal strategy here. And the beauty of how I play my footprints is that all I need is my stop loss in the top of my footprint. Because if you can imagine the market in a logical sense, buyers are are attempting to make this market go higher. So you're seeing delta increasing, they're getting stronger. And on the final footprint, you can see that they still were attempting to make this market go through this reactionary point, which was a reactionary point. Obviously, if it's higher than where price action is here, somewhere to the left, you had drawn this reaction zone because there was a strong move to the downside. So we're now trying to see, can the sellers defend this position? The buyers are obviously trying very hard to get through this position. And now we get met with a red footprint candle with positive delta, meaning that the buyers were still trying to continue to push this through, but the sellers still overcame that footprint and closed it red. That's my trigger to go short. My stop can either be at a predetermined stop loss area that you've already predefined. Beautiful. If not, you can put it at the top of your footprint candle, because this is the area. This was the line in the sand that the sellers drew and said, we're taking this market to the downside. So why do I need to have my stop loss somewhere higher? Unless you've already come up with a thesis that says your stop loss needs to be placed somewhere else. And then simply your TP can be 1-to-1, which is a very simple structure. And then we'll get into how you can, what footprints to use at what scenario. So I'll get that into this as well. Let's see what the market's doing here. Nothing crazy. Strong move to the downside. Well, we could have taken that one for a bigger short. Anyways, so that's what this would look like on a continuation, obviously, to the downside. Okay. Now the second model, which is going to look a little different. Let's move these over so that footprint over there wants to invade my space. All right, now I need to clone this guy. Bring him up here. Now let's look at a scenario for my continuation play to the upside. Okay, this is where your reactionary zone, your level got broken, and they've trapped the sellers here. Now we're looking for continuation play to the upside. This would look like this. I could still use these same guys. Okay. Now, what I would want to see on this candle, would I want to see positive delta or negative delta? I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to let you guys, I don't care who it is. First payout locked in. Aaron, good job. Let's go. Let's go. All right, well, answer this question. If we're looking for continuation play to the upside, okay, would we want to see this negative or positive? Spencer already answered. We want to see this negative. Very good. Because if it was positive, that would indicate a reversal to the downside. So negative, let's just say 210. Now you get your next footprint that ends up like this as green and shows you positive delta. What is this telling you? The market is trying. The buyers have come in, delta's increasing. The sellers tried to defend their territory. You can see that there was negative delta up here, so it wasn't positive delta. If it was positive delta, we would be continuation. We would be looking for the reversal down. They tried to defend. The next footprint closes outside of your band, outside of your level, as a positive. I'm sorry. Ooh. Wrong one. I was trying to bring this. Yeah. This is what I was looking to bring on. Clone. Right there. And let's say that this doesn't have to be a crazy number. Let's say 145. This right now, why is this got a, okay. So this right now would be my continuation to the upside model because, again, buyers showing strength. Delta increasing. They finally hit the reactionary zone that we had mapped out. They did not flip this candle, meaning that this is not a positive delta, but the next candle closes as a green footprint with negative delta. That is my continuation play to the upside. Right here, stop loss goes below the flip, and I can target my 1-to-1, or I can target whatever it is predetermined on based on your strategy or my strategy, whatever your TPs are. Same thing with your stop loss. If you've got a predetermined one, great. If not, it can go right at the bottom of that footprint. That is my continuation play to the upside. And the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is, and I included this in the masterclass. I gave about a 40 minute video on it. I don't know why I just deleted that. That's not what I wanted to do. I guess it's not important. But what footprints to use and at what times? Okay. So very good question. And I think it all depends on either the time frame that you're basing your strategy off of, or the amount of the size of the scalp that you're looking to take. Okay, so for instance, on my reactionary bands, I'm on the 120 range. Okay, because those are very, you can see them every morning. I mean, every morning, you can see how well these bands, where the attraction is at. Okay, very simple to see. So for me, those are very high value targets, and I want to capture bigger moves. So I want to capture those 30 points. So it's very simple for me. 120 footprint is 120 ticks. It's 30 points. Each box has an exact value. You never have a box smaller than the other, or you'll never have a box bigger than the other. It's always the exact same 30 points, 120 ticks, 120 range footprint chart. So naturally, if I'm always at a 1-to-1, my stop goes at the top of the footprint. If I'm looking at a short, 30 points is my target. Now, sometimes your entry might not be great. So let's say that this is the confirmation right here. So we got positive delta, you get your red footprint. In this case, if I was trading the band, I would like to see this footprint maybe leave the band. If I'm trading the level, this would be great setup. And let's say that you don't get the best entry. Okay, so let's say price action really goes quick, because you got to be quick with this stuff. I mean, you really got to be paying attention to every single footprint. The higher the footprint, the more time you have. It's not as stressful. The lower the footprint, those are scalps. That's why the stress is going to be a little bit higher. And probably a little bit less of a win rate because we're on a lower time frame. Pretty simple. I think that's basic theory. So if your short is not, let's just say you caught this a little late. Okay, so let's just say that my entry was down here. Well, I still want to have my stop, guys, here. Okay, that's where I want my stop to be placed at. Now, you could just stay at the 30 points, 30, fine. But you guys can see, even on that last trade that we won, I mean, I went into some drawdown, and I needed I didn't need every single point, but I needed a good amount of points to take that $3,000 or $2,000 profit that I was able to capture. And I would still be targeting my 30 points. Okay, so that's where my little negative risk to reward comes in. Very slight, could be maybe 0.98. Sometimes it's 1-to-1. Sometimes I actually catch my entry a little bit better. So that's why when you hear me say, let's see if I can get a little bit better price. If I can get a little bit better price, I then can kind of bring the stop down lower. So maybe now I only have a 25 point stop and I'm still targeting 30 points. So that's where my positive risk to reward occurs. Now, let's say that this level was on the 1 minute or the 30 second. Okay. Would we want to be on a 120 footprint chart? No, because 120 footprint chart is 30 points. If you're looking to make 10 points or 15 points, there is no reason to be on 120 range footprint. You would have to go down to the 20 or the 30. Okay, and I like to base that kind of on volatility of the day. But if I'm looking for like 10 points, you know, 10 points, the 20 footprint is going to be typically where I like to be at. My 10 to 15 points is going to be on the 30. Anything 15 to 30 points is going to be on the 60. The 60 equates to 15 points. The 30 equates to 7.5 points. The 20 equates to 5 points. It's a very simple formula to base it off of the type of scalp that you're looking for. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is risk to reward. Now, where you can really make this a killer strategy and really increase, if you're that type of trader that's looking for that 1 to 2, 1 to 3, well, then what you could do is, let's say you found yourself a 5-minute level that you're targeting, let's say 20 points. Okay. Well, what you could do to get super aggressive is that you can drop down to either the 30 or the 60. And if the 30 catches something, your stop is now only 7 points. Okay, that's the beauty of that. Your stop is only 7 points and you're targeting 20 because your initial thesis on where you think the market's going to go stays the same. If you're, let's just say how I'm on the 120 footprint for those bigger moves, if I drop down to the 60, it's getting me into that trade faster, but we're not going to have the same win rate because we're also taking it. We're not getting that higher time frame. It's not a time frame, but it's that higher confirmation. We're not getting that. We're not seeing that higher confirmation. So the win rate's going to suffer, but you make up with it on the risk to reward. So everything is a balance act. Everything kind of, you know, every risk portfolio is going to have a, what was I going to try to say there? It's going to have, you know, your give and go, your give and take. And then if you guys are like, Rob, that's awesome that you're giving me all of this great information, but I don't have the footprint chart. Well, I'm sorry. That's, you know, if you're a Signal member in mine, I almost make it a requirement. In my volume masterclass, I think the second module where I go into kind of like things that are requirements to trade my strategy, it involves the footprint. Now, let's just say that you don't have the footprint like how we have here on what you see me trading on Ninja. Oh man, we just went through another band right here. Let's just, you know what, let me just finish my thought here because I'm going to go insane. If what you're looking at here now is candlestick footprints on TradingView. So the thesis is still the same. It's just now you're dealing with time-based candles, but it's actually pretty similar. Okay, if you found yourself a level on the 15-minute, let's see if I can find a good example here. See if we can catch a top here anywhere or bottom anywhere. What am I on the ES? We should be able to see something. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Okay. So we got one right here. So we caught a top right here. So let's say that you're on a 15-minute level. Okay, so you've done your research already, and you have found yourself a level. I don't care what strategy you're using. If you're using my strategy or you've come up with your own, obviously everybody's got either areas of interest or they have levels that they find in the market. Well, let's say that this is a 15-minute level. You could be on a 5-minute candlestick and look for the exact same pattern, okay? Which this is what this gives you right here. It's giving you, that's not what I want to do. Arrow marker. Red footprint, positive delta, and that's the top. That's the top there. You can see that that's the top. And take it to the short. Okay, I don't know where your target's going to be. I don't, that's going to be all thing, but it still works on the candlesticks. If you find a 5-minute level, you might want to be on a 1-minute footprint, and kind of vice versa. If you want to be on a 15-minute to get a great confirmation, 15-minute candlestick. Probably only going to see one of those every 2 or 3 days. But when they are, in fact, the trade that I took the other day, I was upstairs. I didn't have my thing. I took a trade off of this footprint right here on the weekly band, on the ES weekly band. In fact, I showed it on my Discord. That's it. That's my mini masterclass on entry confirmations and what I'm looking for in the market. So we got chump sauce that passed a evaluation. Top step. You got it, AP. Karen got her first payout locked in. Real nice. Took my first trades on my brand new funded Lucid, and those are up very nicely. Plus 284 and 281 respectively. All the apexes are up 280 bucks. Cashes are both up 280. Nice. It's good morning. And with that, guys, I gave you guys the knowledge that I have. Each day I try to give you guys at least something, a little nugget here. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I know that I'm hoping that you guys are as well. You guys think I'm crazy. I'm trading the 5-second chart. No, that's not crazy at all. It's all the same shit. Price action is all the same shit. It all equates. It's all fractal. It all works out to be the same. So with that being said, if you haven't, please like the stream. Guys, that truly helps me. I'm only getting about 20 likes per video. And I know that there's a lot more people that watch it. Doesn't cost you a penny. So if you guys can like it, I highly appreciate it. And Signal members and Stream VIP, we'll keep going here for about another 30 minutes. For the rest of you, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.